Hello guys, how are you today? Today, 2nd of February. I'm so sorry. I actually started my live without um putting the the streaming on automatic. And then I was here talking to myself. It was really that's really funny. When I saw it, I was like, oh hang on, there's something wrong. I looked at YouTube and I couldn't see that we were live and I was like, oh bugger, okay. Made a mistake. Well, anyways, welcome to the trading cage. This is where we beat the gold. It's really, really good to be here and have you guys here. I'm so sorry about that. It was an honest mistake. I started everything and then all of a sudden realized that we weren't live yet. So not good on my part. Um, anyways, we are 10 minutes late now to start. So we'll get straight onto it. On Thursday, Mr. Trump decided that he was gonna say on Thursday afternoon, that he was gonna introduce a new name for the president of the Fed, the Federal Reserve Bank in the United States, and price went chaotic. I have been saying from the last week or so that price on the gold was a bit expensive, so we wanted to be kind of careful with our buys. Okay, of course, I was a buyer throughout that movement, but we didn't want to be short in the market or buying for too long because price would have to come to grab all these inefficiency here on the daily chart. Good morning, Arthur. So, um, on Thursday and Friday, it came and got the inefficiency here from candle 19. Friday, it got through the rest of the inefficiency that was left on the daily chart. Okay, so it cleared everything on the last 3 days. One thing that we know for sure is that every time the market needs liquidity, it will come to grab it. May it be up the top to continue its way up, or it might be just to grab that liquidity up top, bring it back down, and then grab all that inefficiency. Once the market starts coming down, it will drive people to sell or to short the positions, and then you're gonna get these very big retractions here, okay? On our daily chart, we have here our last known resistance, okay, on candle 19. We also have got our trigger candle here on number 20. This last line here was the last support that price had, and funny enough, yesterday it came down to test that support, okay? So we have that support in there. Price has tested it. Actually, it did even grab the liquidity it had down below. But now the only other place where we would have liquidity would be below here. Now, I don't think that gold will come down to grab that one. Okay, it's too far down. People that have bought from 500 here, I'm not gonna allow this price to go back as much as down below. I don't believe it, okay? It was a very, very big retraction these last couple of days. Sorry. All right. So for the moment, what we have is exactly this. So we have support here, and we've got a resistance up the top. Let's go over to our 1 hour. On our 1 hour, we have this. So we are above of today's 50%. Okay. We had a channel here from yesterday. So I tracked this channel here. And we actually throughout the night on the opening of the Asian market, we traded together with our students from LTX Academy. Okay. That I actually recorded that, and that is on YouTube, so you guys can watch it. We made 3 hard scalps yesterday. I actually made 4 calls, but I only managed to get into 3 of them. It jumped my entry point, and then the slippage just didn't pick up my order. But my students did, which is great. They put quite a bit of money in their pocket yesterday. So if you want to check that out, it's on YouTube. Okay, it is in Portuguese, but yeah, if we haven't been able to put captions onto it in English yet, but we're working on with some AIs to see if we can get that done soon. So here we've got, so price is above 50%. All we have here to stop this price coming up is this resistance here on this trigger candle 113. So I do believe that the gold market will come up to at least the maximum of today again. Okay, it has gone below. It got rejected here on these bottom part, which was that support to the left that we had in there. So it went down below, grabbed all those stops from those buyers, and then it just moved back up. So at the moment we've got quite a lot of liquidity in the market. Okay, so let's see what it will do. So we have this as a target point. Second target point would be the high of today, and then if price starts coming up, then we should see a change in the structure. On the 1 hour, it hasn't changed the structure yet. On the 5 minutes, it has. Okay, so it's doing higher highs and lower highs as we speak. On our 15-minute chart, we see here price coming back to this high, which is great. We are still on a trade. We actually bought this morning on candle 49, so I'm holding this trade until the maximum high of today. That's my take profit there. So let's see how it goes. Now, to map the price here on 15 minutes is pretty much what we spoke about on the 1 hour. So we had this channel here, then got into support, jumped back up. At the moment, we are waiting for the price to renew and continue on its way up from candle 16, from candle 15 here, until basically we've got that trigger candle number 6 that could hold this price. Okay, I'm still hoping to get up to the maximum high of today, but price could touch here this trigger candle and reject this region here and then start coming down again. It has broken through our channel. Okay, so I do believe that it could be changing the structure to come up. We have a very big inefficiency on candle on the daily chart. So we've got all of that inefficiency. That price could come and try to grab back on its way up. Since we are day traders, what we will do is we'll keep on tracking the price on 5 minutes and 15 minutes and 1 minute. We'll see if we have any good entry points. If we do get good entry points, we'll get into a trade, and then hopefully we can hold it until that maximum high of today. So let's see how that plays out. So back to our 5-minute chart. We can see here there was a very big push to get through this region. Price did grab the liquidity up the top here, and then it came back down. Candle 160 here haven't managed to break through, but it should break through now, as it has broken through the trigger candles to the left. All right, we're talking about, let's see how much the stop here. Oh, that's a lot. We're talking about 3,500 points of stop, so that's too much for us. Can't get into that trade as it is. The stop's too high. Main issue we're having these days is that all the stops are too high, so it's a bit difficult to trade as it is because everything we do, um, it's over 4,000 points of stop. Yesterday, we made um, three trades with the guys, but it was all through candle hard scalp. And all the trades we did, we waited for the price to test exactly like this one did, simply because if the price tests and finds support, it will come back and will hardly go back down. But without testing, we can't get into any trades, okay? Because if you do get into those trades without testing and then price comes back to test, it may not find support. And if it doesn't find support, guess what? You're going to get stopped, okay? So this is why we avoid doing trades without candles testing. It actually did a very good test in here. Quite happy with this test. Let's see if candle 161 will manage to break through the maximum high of candle 160. On 1 minute here, we see that we have a very small trend line in here. So we've got this trend line here. Price is fighting through, even though it has broken the trigger candle there. It should break through this high of this structure high at the moment, okay? On 15 minutes, we have got this trigger candle here in this region. But apart from this, there's nothing stopping this price. There we go. So candle 161, let's see if it closes above this last high. And then let's see how price will track. We do have a trend line going up here for you. We have got this trend line that price is respecting at the moment. We don't have a lot of inefficiency in this region. We only have inefficiency here on candle 22. This line is the trigger candle on the 15-minute chart, okay? Let's see if price continues to break through the structure. It's looking really healthy at the moment, really good. So it's making small pullbacks as it continues on its way up. I do want to see that candle 161 closing above that last high. Candle 162 needs to test. So what candle 162 needs to test is exactly this support here. See, price breaks through, it has to come back, test that support on the 1 minute, and then it should continue on its way up. All right, so it's testing support now in that region. If price breaks through that support, then it means that that support's not strong enough. It could be just a liquidity grab on the high part of that movement. So how do we know that we have a proper breakthrough of a structure and that the structure will continue as it is on a trade, so you can go into a trade? You want to see price breaking above last structure, okay? So price is breaking above here. And then you want to see the next candle testing the last known support. Once it tests the last known support and it comes back, it should close above the last candle. So in here, as candle 162 has tested support, if it comes back, we can actually buy here and keep our trade going up. Now, sometimes candles will not test support. If it doesn't test for support, what you do is you wait for that second candle. After the first candle has broken through, you wait for the second candle, you wait for this one to close above the last candle's high, and then you wait for the third candle to test down. Once the third candle tests, then you can get into a trade, and that should be a healthy trade. All right. So that's how we know when the price has tested and it's a proper test and proper support. So we see here on 1 minute that it has tested support. It's coming back up. We've got to wait for candle 807 to close above this 50% here. So we want to close it closing just above this 50% and above that trigger candle before you think about getting into a trade on this region. Then again, it's 1,000 points of stop just on this little movement here. As I said before, the frequency and the amplitude of the gold for the last 3 days, it has been chaotic. Not everybody can get into trades in these regions. All right, we got candle 162 is still just below that support region there on 1 minute, okay? And on 5 minutes is actually on the support. So we're just waiting for it to move. Let's see if it will manage to continue above that support. If it stays below, there's nothing we can do. We'll just wait for that pullback and price to confirm where it wants to go. Just do one thing here. So candle 162 closed inside of that support. Let's see how far down. Candle 163 can come down until this trigger candle here, 158. Okay, so we got candle 158 in this region. There you go, big push from buyers, but it can come down into about here. We do have a trend line here that could be used as support. On 1 minute, our trend line for the 1 minute has been broken already. So now we have this high and this low. That's our Fibo. On the 5 minutes, we have a different Fibo. So price could come around that 50% region and around that trigger candle that we just mapped. Let me pull this line here. It's not straight. There we go. And that's how we map price candle per candle. Look at that. It's confirming the pullback on 1 minute. It has confirmed the pullback, so we're waiting for this price here on the higher part of the chart. Okay, after 1 minute, there we go. It hasn't done its obligations yet because it must renew that maximum high, at least renew or break through it. Those are the obligations of pullbacks. I've got one on my platforms here that are not working. I'm trying to sort it out. Um, all right. So looks like we're gonna fail our pullback. Let's see if price closed below our 50%. So now we need candle 814 to close below the trigger candle 810. If it closes below that trigger candle 810, we'll have our failed pullback. Okay, hasn't done that so far. 813 actually closed on the trigger candle. All right, candle 163 closed below the 50% of candle 162. So price most likely at the moment is telling us that might have to come down a bit more. Candle 15, last candle 15 actually broke inside, closed inside of the structure. we could see price retracting quite a bit, okay? Since it doesn't have enough liquidity to go up on the 1 minute here, it's still designing that it's going to have to come down lower. We could see this retraction here up to the 50% of our FIBO. This is the last movement, or even down to our trigger candle here. Candle 55 is testing down. A lot of things happening today. Quite a lot happening. Okay. It got a bit stuck in this region. Let's see if I can find out why. Price is really stuck in there. We don't have any sort of resistance in that region. So let's see on the higher time frames, what do we have around that region? That's not it. So we are here. Oh, we have this to the left here. Let me see. This is what's holding the price. No, it's not. Not yet. It is in the region, but it's not that. Put that there. No, it's not that. Okay, price might just be low on liquidity at the moment, or they could be inducing sellers to put more stop above the high candles so they can come and stop them. We do see a little bit of a fight in there in between the buyers and the sellers. We are above the last structure, and there's quite a bit of inefficiency here on the 5 minutes on these other candles. So I could easily come and grab that. We also have a little bit of inefficiency here on candle 8. It's not a hell of a lot, but it could accelerate the price. And we have a little bit here on candle 7. So you could see price accelerating through into that trigger candle up top. We are in a micro high tendency. Okay, on the macro, it is a still a low tendency for the price. But on the micro movement, it's on a high trend. Let me adjust my short. Okay. Right, so 9:41 and the gold has gone stuck on the 5 minute. The good thing about these lives here is that a lot of the time you you're actually waiting for the price to move, but then you're live and there's nothing much to read basically because the price got into a region and just stayed there. So there's not much to say. All we got to do is wait for the market to make its move, right? So please be patient. And one of the things that I always tell my students is that the patience pays the trader, okay? Yesterday, a lot of people, they wanted to get into buys and shorts uh, throughout the movement. And one thing I told them is just wait. Wait, because it will design, it will show us that it will be going somewhere, and then we can get into very good trades. So there's no point rushing onto it. And one thing that everybody realize is that it is right. So if we have enough patience and if we wait for the movements, we are going to get great movements to trade with. There's no point of us risking our money on trades that they are not well mapped and not well designed by the chart. So once we get into really good regions, it will always pay, okay? Of course, sometimes we do get stops as well. I'm not going to be saying that we're never getting to a stop ever, because we do. But most of the time, we avoid a lot of those losses. So on the 1 minute here, it did confirm the pullback here on candle 821. It broke through the trigger candles here. 822 tested down, so 823 is just renewing that high at the moment and just stopping the guys who sold. And the structure, let's see if it will continue on its way up or if it will come down again. All right, so we just get into that little bit of inefficiency there from candle 8 on the 15 minutes. Let's see what price will do. Candle 823 closed above the last structure. 824, it's continuing its way up. Candle 166 must test down. If candle 56 here does a test down, I would be putting a trade through. I'm waiting for it to test. It doesn't seem like it wants to test right now, but I do need it to test before I could get into a trade due to it's getting inside of this inefficiency here on the 15 minutes. I doubt that it could do a very big test because it's just grabbing through those buying orders here. So price will just go without me this time. We are on another trade. As I told you guys before, that's paying really well. But in here, together with you guys, I haven't had a clear entry point apart from candle 822 here. All right, so candle 166 continue on its way up. On 1 minute is testing now. But now is a bit too late for us to get into that trade because it has cleared a bit of that inefficiency we were waiting for. We wanted that test prior to us getting to that trade. Just having a look at one thing really quick. So candle 166 can come and test again that support and that trigger candle 164. So just wait for that movement to happen. Just came into the region of the trigger candle. So let's track what's happening here to this 1 minute. We have got price below that 50%. This is the last known support for the price. It's coming below at the moment. It looks like it could be just a liquidity grab up the top once again. All right, on 1 minute, close below 50%, came here to the support region. Last trigger candle 816 on the 1 minute. So candle 831 gets a bit of pressure from buyers here. Should push this price up. Now what we want to do is see if it will come and close above this 50%. And then if it confirms the pullback to the high once again. One thing that we're really getting closer to is we're really getting close to the break of this trend line here. So I'm keeping on tracking it because we want to see if price will actually break through this trend line. If it does, it could come back all the way to this region here, which is this 50% and this regional support. Okay. There's quite a bit of liquidity here on the bottom, a little bit here. So price could accelerate down if you wanted to. At the moment on the 1 minute, we have price doing what we said that it might do. Let's see if it breaks through that 50% there and confirms that pullback. Hasn't confirmed pullback yet. Let's wait and see. And 833 once again, touching that 50% zone, but didn't manage to break through. $167 is about to close. It looks like it will close above support on the 1 minute, but still hasn't broken through that 50% region. The stop in this trade here, if we were to buy, it's just above 1,000 points. Man, this chart is frenetic today. 1,000 points. Holy bugger. Such a small movement. Okay, so just broke our short. Our high trend, our trend line in there just got broken. Now, if we change this trend line and put it here and move it here, we would have then this regional support, which is basically that trigger candle 158 there. So we could see price retracting to that region. All right, so candle 158, 168 is coming down again onto the support on the left. It looks like we might see pricing coming down below to that trigger candle. Quite a lot happening in other markets, but not a lot happening on the gold at the moment. We've got 3 minutes to go. So what I'll do is I'll leave you a little preview. What could happen. Let me put here on the 15 minutes. So we have this trend line here on the 15 minutes that it has been broken through by the price. Okay, so we'll delete this one. what I expect is this price to come here to the maximum high of today, okay? Even though it's coming down now to test that trigger candle, all right? It could even test this one. But since it has broken the structure, it has done higher highs and higher lows. I still would believe that this price would still get into the high of today on the daily chart, okay? We do have resistance to the left. Now, if price comes back and does a retraction below this 50%, below here, oh, sorry, wrong way. So below this 50% here, I would be looking to short in the market, okay? At the moment, I'm not looking to short because it does have other things to do up the top there. But if it does come back, I would be shorting too. I would be looking to short this market. For you to buy at the moment, you could do a hard scalp until the maximum high, but then you would need to wait for a good pullback here on the 1 minute. Then you would buy, put your stop on the minimal here, and wait for it to break through this trigger candle number 6. Okay, once price gets to that region, it's gonna feel that break. So this is a relevant breaking stopping point. So wait for it to break through that trigger candle, and then you could get into a trade coming up if you wish. Or you could take a partial out. You could get into a trade and then take a partial out on the trigger, okay, or just below it. Take a partial out, put your price on break even, and wait to see if it will continue the micro trend at the moment. So buys for me are if price closes above candle 55 and then test down once again, okay, you're gonna see a testing support. You could get into a buy. At the moment here, candle 838 did not confirm the pullback, so there's no pullback confirmation at the moment. I really like how candle 840 is grabbing that liquidity here. This could be showing us that price will clear this liquidity and then come back up, okay? But let's say big push from sellers. It's going to clear all of that. Let's see if it's going to reject that top. I would wait for a rejection up here on that trigger candle, not down below. I still think this could be just a liquidity grab for the price to continue on its way up. But then we've got to wait for the 1 minute to see if it's going to clear all this inefficiency that was generated by candle 840. It's a very big push down, so it could be a institutional trade, okay? It's not just you and me liquidating positions that will do a move like that. It's coming down to the next regional support, which is this one. See what happened here in 5 minutes. Okay, so clear all that liquidity there. It is below now the 50% of these move. Last movement right there. Still testing support on the 15 minutes and on the 5 minutes. Very strong institutional move, okay? So as I said before, you could have a three candle pattern here, okay, for the price to go up still. So we could wait for that. But at the moment, we're still above 50%. We haven't broken through the structure yet. So we're still looking at long positions. Now, if it starts breaking through this 50, it will mean that price will come back to this region here of trigger candle 142. And then if it breaks through this support, you can know for sure that price will come down to these regions. So you can get into a short position and carry it down all the way to the minimals here. Okay, guys, I do have to go. I've got a trade with our students. Once again, I do offer private mentorships. I'm going to leave my contact here, my Brazilian contact here on the chart. So on the chat, sorry, if anybody would like to learn how to do these readings live with me. So that's my number, and this is my Instagram. I'll leave my Instagram here as well. I've got you. So Tiago. So this is one. And the other one is, oh, the caps lock. And the other one is Tiago Trading Cage. So it's in there in the chat for you guys. If you want to get in touch with me, okay, just get in touch and we'll help you anywhere, any way we can. All right. Thank you very much, okay, for being with us. We had quite a bit of people in here. Thank you very much for that. Most appreciated. We'll be here. We'll be back here tomorrow once again, and the day after, and the day after, and the day after, and forever. Okay, this is a project that we're gonna carry on. Um, One thing, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe to our channel, and share these with all your friends, okay? We do intend to grow. We need 3,000 followers. We just hit 400, so that's another landmark. That was very good. I do appreciate everybody that has been following us. Thank you very much for your support. And throughout the day, I'll be posting some other bits and pieces here in our channel. And I will see you tomorrow, okay, with another live here on the gold. This has been the Trading Cage where we beat the gold. See you tomorrow.